Hello and welcome to Romanian Talks Football. In today's video, finally some good news. We are making progress in the pursuit of Brady Barcola. And we're going to talk about some other bits and pieces as well. First of all, just wanted to discuss a bit about the potential move Vinny Jr. to Arsenal. I think I think that's just PR spin on Vinny's camp, so he can have a better negotiation position with Real Madrid. I just don't see a player that's literally on the same level of diva as Mbappe, leaving a club that went and bent over, backwards, whichever position Vini wanted. Real Madrid has done that. They've satisfied everything he wanted. Let's not forget he was the main man behind the uh, kind of rebellion against Xabi Alonso, which led to Xabi Alonso being sacked when he was like 64% wins. Like that's a insane win percentage to be fired. And I don't see Arsenal number one. I don't see them giving him that amount of recognition and that amount of power in the club. And number two, I just don't see Vinny pressing. And I don't think Arteta would want a winger that's not gonna press at all. So yeah, I just don't see that happening. But the only reason that might give credence to this transfer rumor is the appointment of Jose Mourinho to Real Madrid. We all know, or at least I don't know, it's been very public what happened between Benfica and Real Madrid, the racial abuse that Vini uh, was subjected to, which, as much as I hate Vini, that's absolutely unacceptable, and I do think Benfica should have been punished harsher than that. Also, it didn't help that Mourinho went and he gave some not decent statements on Vini as well, which kinda lowered him in my eyes a bit. Even though I still have a fondness for Mourinho, I'm gonna admit that. But I don't know. I just don't see Vini leaving Real Madrid for Arsenal. I think it's just a power play to get himself a better deal. Moving on to Liverpool. Main news: Liverpool and Brady Barcola have agreed terms, but well, supposedly have agreed terms because uh, some outlets are specifically saying they've agreed some terms, some publishers have not. So take it with a pinch of salt. But apparently, on personal terms, we would be in agreement. However, apparently, what I've seen in a lot of newspaper, it's personal terms on a 6-year contract. 6-year contract. That doesn't sound like Liverpool, to be fair. 6 year, it's huge, and we don't really give that long term contract. So I'm gonna put an asterisk on this. Um, the price PSG is asking is also massive. We are looking at 140 to 145 million pounds. So that's roughly about 170 million euros. With apparently Liverpool preparing an opening bid in excess of 100 million euros, which is 85 million pounds. Don't even bother. If this is the bar you're gonna start at, don't bother. I don't think PSG are gonna entertain any sort of discussion under 100 million. And I'm gonna be realistic here, even though a lot of outlets and a lot of people on the internet are saying that, oh, PSG need to sell, they're gonna be open, they're not. And I'm gonna go over a few details why they're not. But I'm telling you right now, and I'm calling it, if we get Barcola, it's gonna be on Vert's money, similar to Vert's money. I think realistically we're gonna get him, I would say 115 to 125 million pounds. Um, the thing that's complicating this whole deal, it's this, well, amorous triangle forming between us, PSG, and Real Madrid. Uh, to simplify it, at the beginning of the summer, our main target was Yan Diomande. Yan Diomande went in public saying, "Oh, he wants to come to us," and everything seems to be going in the right direction. We even placed a similar bid with what supposedly we're going to offer PSG for Barcola initially. That was rejected by Leipzig. They wanted way more than our valuation. Then, a few weeks ago, Yan Diomande wants only PSG. He's only open to PSG, and basically snubbed us. Well, recently, PSG were in discussions with Leipzig. Things were kind of stalling. It was getting a bit cold in between, and that's when Real Madrid subjected them, inserted them like Real Madrid does. They're so annoying. And apparently they are gonna sign Yan Diomande. There was rumors of City getting in the action as well. And the Yan Diomande situation is absolutely insane. I don't even know if he's managed to sort out his representation scandal situation, whatever. Basically, he was at some point represented by two different agencies. I'm not sure if he's still the same, but Real Madrid are gonna buy themselves a headache with this one. So yeah, good riddance. I hope they're gonna have a lot of fun with this deal. Well, this could set a domino effect. If PSG lose on Diomande, their next target is Magnus Akliush, which apparently they are quite close of signing. But it might make it way more difficult for us to sell Barcola because they wouldn't want to sell Barcola. And to be fair, they were looking into Magnus Akliush alongside Jan Diomande, so it wasn't one or the other. To my understanding, they wanted them both from the beginning. So just the fact that PSG is going after and is focusing on Akliush at the moment, that doesn't mean they wouldn't want another winger before selling on Bradley Barcola. Liverpool are preparing to shatter their transfer strategy once again. Um, Reports across Europe over the last 24 hours confirmed that Liverpool have agreed personal terms with Barcola's camp on a 6-year deal through 2032. Again, pinch of salt. There is a lot of conflicting reports out there, and I didn't have time to verify everything, so this is hearsay. And it does sound not very Liverpool like 6-year contract. Before I dive further into the matter, if you are enjoying the video, if you want more content, please hit the subscribe button and give the video a like. I'm trying to start up my channel, and that would be very helpful. No pressure, but yeah, if you could do that, thank you. Now let's go back into it. Well, um, so Barcola only has 2 years left on his contract in Paris and has turned down extension offers, and apparently he doesn't want to negotiate with PSG anymore because Luis Enrique doesn't want to guarantee him, and it's basically is that simple. This guy Barcola wants guaranteed game time, which PSG cannot offer. And fair enough to both sides. Luis Enrique was saying he only wants players that want to be part of the team, that they want to play for the team. So obviously there is a bit of friction between Enrique and Barcola, which is obvious because he's been always uh, less favored than Due or Kvaratskhelia. I A lot of publications are trying to put again a positive spin on Monaco willing to sell Akliush because they just got the attacker from Nantes, Matisse Sablin or something. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but that's supposed to be their replacement for Akliush, which means Akliush can be moved on quite quickly right now. So it's just a matter of PSG agreeing terms with the player, which apparently they have, and then agreeing terms with Monaco. So I wouldn't be surprised over the next few days if we get a here we go from Fabrizio Romano. So obviously, if PSG buy a Cluj in the eyes of a lot of journalists and a lot of people, that means Barcola is free to go. Again, I disagree with that opinion. I think, uh, despite whatever Luis Enrique is saying, I think PSG would prefer to keep Barcola on, and maybe even they would be willing to sell it low for less next year, but keep it an extra season because they are gonna want to win a third one in a row. I can feel it. Well, so far Liverpool have been quiet on the transfer market. We triggered the 34.5 million release clause for the Spanish winger Victor Munoz from Osasuna, blowing Newcastle's plan up and Magpies fans are not loving Liverpool at the moment, and I can't say I blame them. I have no hatred towards them. I quite actually like Newcastle personally. So yeah, but I do get why they would be quite upset at this news. And yes, Jacques joined as well for 60 million from Rennes following the January pre-agreement. We also signed the Colombia under 17 talent Samuel Martinez, which, if I remember correctly, is a central attacking midfielder, so Cam. Also, another target that's been rumored, uh, PSG sensation Ibrahim Mbaye uh, has tried to push his name through to Liverpool as well, which is a bit odd. Imagine if we double raid PSG, that would be quite nice. Another link has been with Burman midfield Alex Scott, but given the fact I think did they reject a 60 or 70 million pounds offer, as well as reports linking to Aston Villa centre back Ezri Konza. I don't think we have money for Konza. He's not gonna come cheap, and also Arsenal are looking at him. So if we go in for him, I think Arsenal are gonna make a play as well. Saliba is out, God knows for how long. So I do think that they're gonna drive up the price, and we are gonna be looking at the bidding war, which we cannot afford this summer. Iraola's press conference in the US confirmed that heavy hitters like Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak, and Ryan Gravenberch have now linked up with the squad following the post-World Cup breaks. The manager made it clear squad depth up front is urgently required. And I completely agree, but I do think that we also need some defensive depth. And two names are solidifying at the moment. Actually, three names are solidifying at the moment. One would be Zabarny from PSG, either on loan or a permanent buy, because PSG are seemingly willing to part with the player. And then another name linked to us quite heavily in the past few weeks, it's been Jet Spence. Well, not few weeks, maybe a few days. Jet Spence, and I do like Jet Spence. I did think he was a decent player before the World Cup and before he blew up. The thing is, we do need Jet Spence. And I think if we can get them at around 40 million, 30 to 40 million, it would be a fantastic sign, because he can play left back, he can play right back. That way we can rotate, and we can rotate during a match, which is very important, because if we are facing a low block in our left side, Karkesh is not getting a lot of joy. We can send Jet Spence on the left, swap out Karkesh, put in Frimpong to give us a bit more agility on the and more speed on the right side, and try to kind of shift the game around that. Imagine struggling with a low block and putting in Rion Gamoa and Jeremy Frimpong on the right, having Barcola and Kirkesh on the left. That Barcola and Spence on the left. It could be a good strategy. When you have versatile players, it does give you a lot of options to change a game without necessarily needing to have the spare be as good as the starter, because Tsimikas is nowhere near the level of Karkesh is. I would sell Tsimikas, to be fair, and I would bring a fullback that can do both left back and right back, like Jet Spence. And then for the right back, I would also bring a fellow Romanian, which we've been linked to. Apparently, we also have an agreement with him. I don't understand why we are not triggering his clause. It's about 25 million euros, which is like what, about 18 million pounds. It's it's really cheap. You are getting a 28-year-old international. He has high pace, he has stamina, he has aggressive ball progression, and he's very suited for this type of style that Iraola plays. And he's cheap. He's just a punt. So he's not gonna ask a lot of money as a salary, so that's not a concern. It's not like we're taking a punt on, for example, John Stones, which is a free agent at the moment, but it will come with a massive sign-on fee, massive salary for a year or two. So I don't think John Stones is worth for Liverpool in our current situation and trying to uh, rebuild the team. So I would say Ratio is an excellent option for Liverpool, because even if it flops, it's only about 18 million pounds. That's a bargain. Another name linked on the right back is Giviro Red, and or sorry, Giviro Reed. My apologies. I don't know anything about this guy. All I know about him, he's very, very young. He's inexperienced, and he's coming to a tough league. He's not gonna come cheap. So probably for him you are looking at potentially 50 plus million pounds, because you know how it is. Very few clubs are reasonable, and as soon as a Premier League club comes knocking on their door, oh, we want this guy. Yeah, you want them 50 million, 60 million, 70 million. So there would be a tax on that. My ideal signings for this summer right now would be Brady Barcola because we don't have anyone better than that, but for a reasonable price. So around 100 million, maybe 105 plus some add-ons that could rise to 110 or 115. I would be happy with that, but add-ons that would make us better. So for example, he needs to score this many goals or he needs to put this many assists, stuff like that that's beneficial to Liverpool rather than appear 20 times, you know, something more detailed, but I would be fine with that. For anything more, I would say not worth it, even though we are in a desperate situation. Other potential names for a winger, maybe Minte from Brighton. I know he hasn't been the greatest, but he has a lot of potential, and he's been played in a bit of a more retreated position, more defensive position at Brighton rather than a proper winger. So I do think maybe under Viraola we could improve him. Center back, that's where the other problem lies. At the moment, we've seen Joe Gomez cannot be trusted. He cannot be relied on, not because he's a bad player, because he cannot stay fit for more than a couple of games. 8 minutes into the Sunderland game, he had to be taken off. I don't want us to start the season with a 35-year-old guy, a 19-year-old, and a 21-year-old, two of them coming off of massive periods of times without football. Jackie hasn't played since February. Leone hasn't played since September. So none of them are really up to a physical standard. And Virgil van Dijk is 35. Knockwood, Virgil hasn't had a lot of injury issues, and let's hope it stays that way, but again, not guaranteed. I think I agree with people saying that in midfield, one in, one out. Ideally, we'd get a DM, but I don't know. I think Gravenberg was like Wirtz in a high press system. I do think we would be much better in a much better situation than this season. So let's fix these issues and then we'll see. So my ideal squad for next season would be Allison in goal, Kirkish on the left with Jeff Spence as a cover. Uh, on the right, Jet Spence with Ratio, Frimpong, and Bradley when they come back as a rotation option, giving us quite a lot of depth. A center back, Van Dijk with Leone and Gomez as covers, and at left center back, at right center back, Jacques with Zabarnik as a cover. I think Zabarnik is quite good because we could probably get him for cheap. He hasn't had a great season. He's Premier League experienced, and the thing is, it's very hard to get uh, in PSG defense. They have some of the best defenders in the world. They have some of the best midfielders, and they have some of the best wingers in the world. No question why they won Champions League 2 years in a row. So I don't think it's that damning on him being on the bench. So I do think Zabarni is a very decent fix for us for this season. Midfield, Curtis Jones and McAllister as covers. Obviously, if McAllister wants to leave, then bring someone in. As a starter, Gravenberg, Soboslai, Wirtz. On the left wing, Brady Barcola. I do think he is better as a left wing. And I know we're trying to sort out our right wing. We're gonna try to replace Salah, but let's not face it. Let's not forget. Let's face the fact that Gakpo is not reliable, and he has game when he's been absolutely dreadful. So I wouldn't be too mad if we offloaded him and brought in Barcola and Munoz on the right. I think Munoz can get a good chance of becoming a Liverpool starter this season. I would bring another winger just in case. Like I said, maybe mint them. Someone that's a bit cheaper, but even minted, they are asking a bunch of money for him. Like I think it was 70 or 80 million they wanted for him, which is far too much. But yeah, another winger, and obviously we have Ekitike on his back feet with Isaac to overlap. And I do think we should keep some of the kids. Uh, McConnell looked really good. Kumas looked really good. Trent Ione looked really good. He looked really good. I would keep Trent Ione because I do think Trent Ione could be molded exactly like what Iraola did with Alex Scott. I think under Iraola, if Trent Ione is given the opportunity and Trent Ione doesn't get an injury, how many times can I say Trenion in the same phrase? But he can become like Alex Scott, a very offensive midfielder that had good defensive stats turned into an actual DM. I could see him shifting to Nioni over Gravenberg in certain games, or Nioni, Gravenberg, Soboslai with benching Verts for the game to bring in on when they need to be a bit more defensive. So I do think I would keep Nioni, McConnell, I would keep him. I would keep Kumas around the team as well. Calvin Ramsey is not good enough, so I would dispose of him. Federico Chiesa, that's a more difficult question because he's on a big wage, but he loves the club. And even when he's playing badly, he still gives it all for the club. So as a cover, I would still keep him, but only as a cover. So like left wing, uh, we would have Rio that could potentially play on the right, or have Munoz and another right winger. Obviously, Rio could move in there as well. And then we could have Chiesa kind of like a versatile forward when we need to empty the bench or when we are trying to give some rest to some players and coming like basically the third choice spare for uh, for an attacker, and he can also go down the middle while we are waiting on Ekitike to come back. So I've ranted enough. That's all from me. If you like the video, if you want to support my channel growth, please leave a comment, give it a like, and a subscribe if you feel like it. But regardless, thank you for watching and have a good one.